Hi, Darcy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Tell me about your week.
Honestly, it's been kind of a rough week.
Hmm.
So I'm in the middle of getting ready for finals, like final projects, final tests, all that stuff. And, my husband and I, we started a business not too long ago, and we've been trying to cook food for people. Well, he burnt himself in the kitchen, and we have some big orders coming up because it's Thanksgiving, and I'm really afraid that we're not going to be able to make those orders happen, and that if we don't make those orders happen, what happens when those customers are unhappy? So it's been pretty stressful. I don't really know what we're going to do.
So what I'm hearing you say is that your husband hurt his hand pretty badly. Do you think maybe he's hurt bad enough that he's not going to be able to finish working through the holiday?
I honestly don't know. We haven't been able to go and get it looked at because we don't have health insurance right now. And so I've just been trying to take care of it to the best of my ability, but I know that it's really hard for him to move it, and he's right-handed, and it's like on the side of his right hand. So right now he can't cook, and I don't think we're going to be able to do our Thanksgiving orders. I don't know about through Christmas.
So it sounds like you're feeling a little bit worried about your husband's hand, not only because he's injured, but because you're worried about your business and what's going to happen if your customers aren't happy if you can't fulfill those duties.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a new business. We have new customers. I'm trying to keep them happy. He's doing the best that he can, and there's nothing I can ask him to do. You know what I mean? It hurts, and he can barely move, but it's just such bad timing. I can't do anything myself because I have all this other stuff to worry about with trying to get through school, which is also important. But then, we need money, and if we don't have, happy clients, then we're not making money, and we have to be able to cook to have happy clients.
Right. So tell me, what does your family and friends say about this?
Well, my mom thinks that he needs to get his hand looked at so that it doesn't get any worse, maybe by getting infected or something. And I don't know how to do that because I'm afraid that if we go to the emergency room, it's just going to be a whole bunch of money that we don't really have.
Mm-hmm.
So they've also asked if I can maybe find somebody else to help cook for him, but that still means that I have to participate, because when he cooks, I don't have to participate in the cooking part. He can take care of what I don't have time to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I have to have even an assistant, then I still have to be there, and I still have to be, present. So I don't know how to do that because I don't have the money to pay somebody right now.
So what do you think would happen if you asked your family or friends to help you cook?
I don't know. My parents both work, so I don't know if they would be able to help me. We've got roommates that would probably be willing to help out a little bit, but they have their own jobs too, and I don't want to put them out too much, because I don't really feel like it's their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they'd be willing to help a little bit. I just don't know if that would be enough,
Okay. Have you tried talking to any of your professors, and what do you think they would think about if you asked for an extension?
I hadn't really thought about that. I don't know. I guess it might be okay because a lot of my classes are getting out earlier than when finals week really is for IUPUI. So maybe they could at least give me through the end of the actual semester, and that would help me get through, Thanksgiving. But I just hope that, that doesn't put me in a bad light with them. That makes me feel kind of weird,
Mm-hmm. So, it sounds like you're struggling to fill the needs of your business while also filling your personal needs of taking care of your classes and yourself in the process.
Oh, yeah.
So, sounds like we're going to have to work on finding a solution for your work business. How are we going to figure that out?
I like your idea of asking my friends to help, a little bit. And I think that's a good place to start. I mean, for me, I think the biggest thing is that if we can get Cody in maybe to see somebody, to see a doctor, he can maybe get antibiotics or something that will be able to help his hand heal a little faster. And then, you know, the interim will just be the stress, and I won't be as concerned about what's coming after, you know.
So we've thought about some ideas for helping your business if your husband's not able to work through the holidays. Now let's take a look at what we can do about getting your husband some medical help with his hand. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but the city does have a few free clinics that you can go to, especially in time of emergency. We have a list of those clinics up at the front desk, so I'll be sure to get you that list. If you find that you want to go to the emergency room instead of the clinic, I know that a lot of hospitals have financial counselors that can help you work through, you know, whether it be getting on marketplace insurance or
that sounds really expensive to me.
Yeah.
We don't have an income right now really, other than like the marginal amount of money we make with our business, and all of our money pretty much goes back into our business and then to pay our bills. I don't know that we have the money to pay for an insurance plan right now, and that's really what scares me the most.
Have you considered applying for any state benefits like Medicaid or Healthy Indiana Plan?
So when Cody was working, we applied for the Healthy Indiana Plan, and we were told that he made too much money essentially for us to be a part of that. And we haven't reapplied really since we started our business, but on our taxes, he was working, you know, until June of this year. So are they gonna look at that and think that he, you know, has been working this whole time, or how does that work?
Well, I would say a good place to start might be to just go into the office and apply and see what one of their caseworkers tell you. From my experience, if you're not working there anymore and it's been more than 3 months, they're probably not going to count it in your budget. So we can look into that, and we can look into those clinics. And also revisiting the hospital emergency room. I was telling you about that financial counselor. A lot of times hospitals also have financial assistance that come in through donations and things of that nature. So talking to a financial counselor would probably help you get through those kinds of things.
So do you think that it would be faster to go to an emergency room or faster to go to a clinic? Because I feel like sometimes free clinics are really busy and I don't have all day to go and sit. I mean, an emergency room may be the same thing, but you know, where is he going to get the better care, do you think, at an emergency room or at a free clinic?
Yeah, that's definitely a hard question to think about. Like you said, the clinics can be very busy, but the emergency room might take longer to get some assistance. I know a lot of times at the emergency room, they'll see you if you're hurt and then bill you, and then sometimes they'll waive your debt, but you're kind of taking a chance there of, are you going to get approved? And if you're not approved, what's going to happen? So, you know, so when you think about your situation, because you know your situation better than I know your situation, and when you think about your situation, do you think that it would be better for you to go to a clinic where you might have to wait, but you know it'll be free? Or do you think maybe it would be better for you to go to the ER?
Yeah, I guess a free clinic is probably better. Our finances just don't, I can't take the chance with the finances. That's part of why I'm stressed out about getting him to a doctor in the first place. I didn't know there were free clinics in Indianapolis. So you said I can get a list of those from the front desk before I leave?
Yeah, I'll be sure to have the front office assistant grab one of those for you. And I just want to tell you, Darcy, it really seems like you've given this a lot of thought and you're really, you know, working hard and trying to pull it together for your family, and that's just such a strength in you. So I'm sorry you're going through a hard time, and I'm confident that we'll be able to work through this.
Yeah, I think we will. I just get really stressed out sometimes, and it's really hard for me to not think about everything that's going on all at once. I don't compartmentalize very well, so when things happen, my crisis mode is really anxious and just kind of, overthinking and over-analytical about everything. I really probably need to just take a deep breath and recognize that I'll be okay. But I have big problems with self-care, and it's so easy for me to just go, and it's really hard for me to take a step back.
And it sounds like you're really struggling with a lot of different things at once. It must be really hard for you.
It is, being a wife and then being a student is hard in and of itself, because I feel like I don't have time to commit to my relationship with my husband the way that I want to anyways. And then when he gets hurt and all I want to do is take care of him, but not only can I not take care of him because I'm in school, but it's finals time, I just feel really guilty about what that means. I want to be there for him and I want to be there for our business, and that really makes me mad too. Like, I wish I had more time to help our business because it's our business, and I don't feel like it's part mine right now because I haven't had the time to commit to it. But, that's a lot to take on all at once, and we agreed that that wasn't going to be my responsibility when I was in school, and everything's been going fine until he hurt himself and can't do anything.
Yeah, that sounds like it's really difficult. So we've talked about some ways that some strategies that we can try to work through with the business. And we've talked about some strategies that we can try with getting him some health care very quickly, it sounds like. And lastly, we've got about 5 minutes left. And lastly, I would just like to talk a little bit about you. You mentioned a lot in our meeting today that you were feeling kind of stressed and overwhelmed with just multiple responsibilities. And you talked about self-care a little bit. So tell me, what does self-care look like for you?
It doesn't look like much right now. Occasionally I get to take a hot bath. That's pretty cool. I don't do much. I come home from school and I work on homework and I eat and I get ready for bed and I sleep. Sometimes my husband and I get to go out to dinner, but most of my classes are at night anymore, so it's really hard for us to do that too because I'm getting out of school at 9 o'clock. I don't know. I feel like I would love to be able to go play outside before it gets to be winter time, you know what I mean? But I don't get to do that because I have to sit and do homework. So I think self-care a lot looks like maybe watching a TV show before I go to sleep. That sounds so unhealthy. But yeah, that's all I feel like I have time for right now, and it sucks.
Does watching a TV show make you feel relaxed or less stressed?
Yeah, it takes my mind off of everything that's gone on during the day. And I would read a book, but I read so much for school right now that I couldn't possibly follow a story if I wanted to. So it's the alternative to reading. It was the easy alternative to reading a book. And I like that it gives me something else to focus on, somebody else's, BS to think about, and it just kind of takes me away from mine. Plus, it's like the 30 minutes I get to spend with my husband every day.
So we've talked a little bit about some things we can try with your business. We've talked about some things that we can try with getting your husband on health insurance. And we've talked about some things that we can try to get you some self-care and bring the stress level down a little bit. So Darcy, my homework for you between this session and next week at our next session is I want you to try at least one strategy from each of those 3 groups that we talked about today. Does that sound like something that you can do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can.
All right. So was there anything else that I can help you with today?
No, I appreciate you helping me come up with some ideas to help with the business and the food business, or the health insurance. That's just been the biggest thing on my mind, and making me really anxious, and I feel better.
Well, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. So I guess I'll see you next week then.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a nice day, Darcy.
You too.